Welcome to Chris Strub Unmuted. I'm Chris Strub, and today we're talking about the 7 best places to eat in Greenville, South Carolina. Oh my gosh. Lunch at Harry's Hoagies and dinner at Gianna. Boy. This is Chris Strub Unmuted, a show designed for open dialogue, honest reflections, and uncensored truths about the lives that we lead. Today's episode is close to my heart because it's in my stomach. We're talking about the 7 best places to eat in Greenville, South Carolina, the town that I call home. And look, guys, I am recording this at lunchtime. I am hungry. I'm looking at my list of what episodes I need to record today, and I was like, oh boy, I think this might be the one that needs to come right before my lunch break. All of this food is going to sound so incredible right now. I might even end up inspiring myself to go grab something from one of these places for lunch by the time this episode is over. Maybe you're going to do the same thing. If you live here in Greenville, get your car warmed up and ready to go. If you don't live here in Greenville, this is going to be another example of an episode that's going to convince you to come visit because I am starving. I love food. As you guys know, my dad is a retired chef. My stepdad is a chef. This is a foodie family, okay? And these places that I've pointed out, again, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of places to eat around Greenville. And as much as I've tried, I haven't eaten at all of them. So you're going to have to forgive me if I miss your favorite place on this list. But I also need you to jump in the comments and let me know, especially here on YouTube, let me know the place or places that I've missed. I encourage you to agree and or disagree with any of these choices. As I mentioned in the intro, this is a show designed for open dialogue. I will jump in the comments and debate or support. And honestly, I would love to try the places that you say that maybe I have missed. So please, please do me a favor. As you're watching this video, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And ultimately, do you agree with me that Greenville, South Carolina is one of the best foodie towns in America? Because I think it is. So without further ado, let's dive in. This is the 7 best places to eat in Greenville, South Carolina. All right. When we talk about the 7 best places to eat in Greenville, South Carolina, my list starts with Gianna. Okay. And I think everybody watching, listening to this podcast will have a different named place at the top of their list to go. I don't think anyone that's not, doesn't have celiac disease maybe, would disagree with me that Gianna deserves to be in this pantheon and in this discussion, no matter where you might slot it on your list. And these 7 places are not necessarily in order, but I will say that Gianna was the first name that came to my mind. And I don't think that'll surprise anyone familiar with Greenville to know that that's the case. Gianna is a locally owned, Michelin recognized, handmade pasta Italian place. And it is located upstairs, right across the street from Falls Park. So when you look at all of the branding of Greenville, South Carolina, featuring the Liberty Bridge and Falls Park on the Reedy, the closest place to eat, like the second closest place to eat, the third closest place to eat, with apologies to Passerelle Bistro and the Grand Bohemian Hotel. The closest restaurant along Main Street, would be the most accurate way to say it, is Gianna. There's a pretty steep stairway to get up there, or there's an elevator if you need it on the other side entrance. Gianna is a place that when my family comes to visit, that is the home run spot that we head to. My aunt and uncle were here in Greenville for the first time in many years a few weeks ago. And the last night that they stayed here, we went out to Gianna. They are exceptionally well traveled. So shout out to Uncle John and Aunt Glenda. They travel all around the world. They are big pasta aficionados. They are also, especially my aunt, wine aficionados. And they left Gianna sincerely feeling impressed. And knowing both of them, they would not express that that impression, that level of surprise and real delight. They would not do that inauthentically to me. If they didn't think this place was top notch, they would have said this. I have not yet had that level of international experience traveling around, getting to eat real authentic Italian food, for example. But you feel that way every time you go to Gianna. This place is the real deal. The menu isn't anything crazy. It's usually just one sheet. Actually, it's just one side of the sheet. So, they have maybe 20 to 25 dishes on the menu there, and they do them all incredibly, incredibly well. There is an exquisite wine selection there. They also make cocktails that are top of the line. So if you're looking for a really great drink menu, you can go up to Gianna, just sit at the bar and have some drinks, even if you don't have dinner, or you go have apps. Gianna is one of those cornerstones of Greenville, South Carolina, that no one would dispute is incredible. No one would dispute the value of Gianna and its presence right there in a signature spot on Main Street to the downtown Greenville, South Carolina experience. It is a place that locals and visitors alike love. It's a sort of place, there's certain restaurants and certain places, especially as a local that, maybe you go once or maybe you go once a year. Like, you could easily go to Gianna on a regular basis, even as a local, and absolutely love it. But if you are coming to town and let's say you even only have one night in Greenville, I'm going to point you to Gianna, especially if you love great pasta, great fish. The ingredients here are top notch. The experience, the wait staff is talented and very detail oriented, very professional. And the pricing is nothing outrageous either. It's priced in a way that you could get away with eating there once a month and be perfectly happy with it. So there's so many great options in Greenville. It's hard to develop an anchor like that you say you want to go somewhere really consistently. But if I was going to pick one, it would be Gianna. So shout out to Chef Mike and all of the teams there, like the entire team there. Oh my God, I'm starving already, and we're just on 1 of 7. Gianna, do it. Climb the steps if you can, or take the elevator. It is way worth it, and it is a real asset to the entire downtown Greenville community. It's the sort of place that if you come to Greenville, even for a short time, you should not miss your opportunity to go check out Gianna. Oh, this is the one that's going to hurt. Next on my list. Oh, it's lunchtime. Oh, someone please bring me Harry's Hoagies. Harry's Hoagies. Born from a previous life at Gather Greenville as Mike's Cheesesteaks, they now kind of live under that dual brand umbrella over in the Overbrook neighborhood, across the street from another place that, foreshadowing, I will mention here at the end of our list. Harry's Hoagies. It is really hard to impress Papa Strub. My dad has been down here to Greenville a bunch of times now, and it's funny, again, with this huge wealth of places that we can go out to eat, the one place that my dad brings up when we talk about where you want to go to eat is Harry's Hoagies. The family there is from Philadelphia. They source their bread and all of their meats from, the bread is flown down from Philadelphia, and then the meats are just top-notch, high-quality meats. And all of that food is matched by your experience of being there, right? Michelle and the team there, at Harry's Hoagies have done such a phenomenal job of making everyone, even a Dallas Cowboys fan like me, feel welcome at Harry's Hoagies. And we'll have to put up some video here, Max and Jeff, on the screen. Guys, the portions there are remarkable. You know, some of the sandwiches, you might get a little bit of sticker shock, but trust me, I'm a hungry boy. You know, I'm a runner. I work out all the time. You will get 2 good meals out of one Harry's Hoagies sandwich. They travel well. You know, you get yourself a bag of chips and a can of soda at Harry's Hoagies, and just, you're not going to regret it. You know, and there are some other options there in that same little tiny strip mall there. Scout's Donuts is right next door. Oh my God, I'm just salivating. You know, even my friend Brian, who was featured in a previous season of the podcast talking about our High Rocks experiences. Brian flew down from Philadelphia a couple years ago. We went to Mike's Cheesesteaks when they were still at Gather Greenville, and he was impressed. And he is a Philadelphia guy who eats Philly cheesesteaks regularly in Philadelphia. You know, if you can impress a Philadelphia guy, you know, 800 miles from Philadelphia, you know you're doing something right. And as much sarcastic hatred as a Cowboys fan has for Philadelphia, we also, of course, appreciate the quality of food in Philly, and you can get that experience and then some at Harry's Hoagies in the Overbrook neighborhood of Greenville. It's maybe 10 minutes from downtown, and it is so worth every single dime. Oh, that broccoli rabe with the pork. Oh, I am starving, and we have 5 more to run through. But Harry's Hoagies, I love you guys. Oh my gosh. Lunch at Harry's Hoagies and dinner at Gianna. Boy, just get Tony Leopard on the phone, buy your house in Greenville now, and just park yourself equidistant between Harry's Hoagies and Gianna. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm starving. Oh. Next on my list is another favorite of mine. Sassafras Bistro is located in that North Main area. It's kind of in the plaza there. And I tell you what, maybe the best singular food item that I've ever eaten in Greenville is Sassafras Bistro she crab soup. Oh my God. If you haven't had she crab soup, go try it right now. It is absolutely phenomenal. It pairs perfectly as an appetizer, if you will, for any of the great dishes that they serve at Sassafras Bistro. Again, this is not a crazy expensive place to go. It is priced affordably, especially for what you're getting. And back during the COVID era, I did something on social media consistently called Takeout Tuesday, where I challenged myself to try different places all around the Greenville area. Sassafras Bistro won one of the weekly votes and was my choice early on in the pandemic, and I still think fondly about their stuffed chicken breast. Oh, is it so good, guys. Sassafras Bistro. Again, the vibes there are great. You can sit outside if you want to. You know, there's a really nice dining room. This is a great place to go if you've got a graduation party or something to celebrate. Sassafras Bistro, among all of the heavy hitters downtown, give me Sassafras Bistro. You know, if we're doing a draft here, I know we're coming up on fantasy football season. I will happily take Sassafras Bistro in my third spot here and, you know, not look back. It's a great, great place with a diverse menu, a great bar, great appetizers, lots of great different entree options. The service is really terrific. We've always been really impressed with the service every time we're there. So shout out to the team at Sassafras. It is maybe not atop all of the lists that you see in downtown Greenville. It is definitely near the top of Chris Strub's list. So give Sassafras Bistro a try. Definitely get the she crab soup and let me know what you think. Nashville hot chicken has made its way to all corners of the South, including here in Greenville, South Carolina. For my money, the best hot chicken you're going to find in Greenville. Yeah. Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack on Lawrence Road. I'm blessed to live along Lawrence Road here. I pass by Rocky's all the time. It is one of those, okay, it's Saturday afternoon. Maybe you ran a race Saturday morning. You went out and ran a 10K or a half marathon and you're hungry. You want something with a little kick to it. You want some really high quality sides. You don't want to break the bank going out somewhere crazy. You don't want to get all dressed up. Boom. The answer is Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack. They are a Southern-based chain. I don't remember exactly where they started. I know they're up in Asheville, and they deserve to be spreading this brand all around the region and hopefully all around the country. I love me some Rocky's hot chicken tenders are going to be the way to go. Get yourself some different dips. That medium flavor is right in the strike zone for me. Oh my goodness gracious. Do I love me some hot chicken? And again, there are options. There are options around Greenville. The number one spot to go is going to be Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack. I believe it's 420 because I remember because it's 420 Lawrence Road. Oh my gosh. Rocky's. What an asset to Greenville. I hope they open even more locations and just, if you love hot, spicy chicken, boom. There's your answer, Rocky's. Okay, I think this next one is definitely going to spark some conversation in the comments. So let me have it. Come on, everybody's got an opinion on this one. Greenville, South Carolina barbecue. There are a lot of great places to go around Greenville to get you some great barbecue. Guys, give me home team barbecue. Okay, and I went back and forth on this. I didn't want to make this a whole list about just the best barbecue places in Greenville. You could certainly do a whole podcast just on that. We're talking best places to eat. So this is creme de la creme. This is best of the best in Greenville. This is the list that you want to write down. You want to print this out. You want to get a tattoo of this on your forearm so you know that these are the 7 places you want to keep going back to. I even had another barbecue place on my list here, and I just changed it. That's how controversial this conversation can get in Greenville. But man, home team barbecue, I just have great associations with this place. The pulled pork, I've actually gotten their burger a couple of times as well. You sit outside the picnic tables there. You can get a great beer right across the spot there. Double Stamp Brewing, which for my money is right up there, if not the top brewery in Greenville. It's definitely near the top. So you get yourself a beer from Double Stamp. Actually, you go into home team first, place your order because you're probably gonna have to wait for it. Then you go in, you grab a beer, you drink a beer from Double Stamp while you're waiting for your lunch. Maybe you grab another beer when your lunch comes out. Boom, perfect Saturday afternoon. Maybe you start your day, like I said, with a 5K or 10K with the Upstate Running Series, which often hosts races right there at the park there, Holland Park. It is you'd be hard pressed to craft yourself a better Saturday or Sunday afternoon than a beer from Double Stamp and then lunch at Home Team Barbecue. Get yourself some pulled pork, some sides, spray some sunscreen on, and just have yourself a day, man. Home Team Barbecue. But look, I want you to lay it on me, okay? Hit me with the comments. I know that places like Lewis have some crazy fan bases out there. This is no shade at all to Lewis Barbecue, City Barbecue, any of the other great barbecue places around Greenville. Look, give me Home Team, okay? It's a tough decision. I'm taking Home Team. What about you? If the best barbecue in Greenville conversation wasn't enough for you, here we go again. Okay. Best pizza in Greenville. Give me Sidewall Pizza. Okay. It's the OG. To me, it's still the best. I've tried a bunch of different pizzerias around town now. There's just something about Sidewall that gets me every single time. It is my go-to spot. I love, especially after working an election, my go-to thing to do is to call in an order or place an order online with Sidewall, go pick it up, after we go drop off all of the voting data and stuff back at headquarters, back at election headquarters. Bring home your pizza, go home and watch Amy Wood on TV or go watch CNN for national news coverage. Sidewall, it's kind of thin, crusty. It's made with great ingredients. You know, they have multiple locations around town. There's one up in TR. I love the one that's right adjacent to downtown Greenville, and you can't go wrong, right? Super high quality ingredients. I am so hungry as I am talking about all of this stuff. This is so bad. I'm going to end up buying food at all of these places before the day is over. I'm just going to eat absolutely everything. Okay. Sidewall, you feel like you can eat almost an entire pie because of that thin-ish crust. And look, guys, you know, I'm a New Yorker. Okay. I was born and raised on Long Island. Like I know pizza. Okay. So this is no shade at all on somewhere like Pizza Parcheggio, or the other great pizza places, pizza options around town. But I really want to I want to hear it from you in the comments. I'm a Sidewall guy. Coastal Crust is another one for me that is right up there, but give me Sidewall. Okay. Like I'm putting Sidewall on my top 7 places to eat in Greenville. I'd love to hear from you. Did I get this one right? Did I get it wrong? What do we think? Guys, last but definitely not least on my list. I don't know that anyone can argue with me on this point. Best place to get dessert in Greenville is Claire's Creamery. Period. End of story. You can comment all you want, but someone's got to prove me wrong here somehow, and I don't think you will. Ever since Claire's Creamery opened a few years ago, they've developed a very loyal, I don't want to say cult following. It's just a beautiful community that supports this family that runs Claire's Creamery. They've opened a second location, thankfully, even closer to my house, also here along Lawrence Road, just a few minutes down the road here. And Claire's Creamery is another place that when my family members come back to Greenville, like the last time Mama Strub was here, we had, about 90 minutes before I needed to go bring her to the airport. And it was, all right, Mom, anything else you want to do before you go back home? The answer was, yeah, let's go stop at Claire's and get some ice cream. And I don't blame her at all. To me, it's really hard to imagine a place that's going to do things better, both ingredients wise, creativity wise from the menu. It's affordable. You can get yourself a pint and bring it home in a little container, which got to admit, I've done it multiple times, but in all seriousness, the best ice cream. And you know what? Oh my God, it's July. They probably have it now. I'm going to need to go now. And you should too. If you're watching this podcast in July, or maybe you're watching or listening to this episode or this clip during the holiday season, the best flavor of ice cream I have ever eaten in my life is Claire's Creamery Peppermint Hot Chocolate. And look, all of their flavors are great. They're all great. And what's even better to me is the way that this family-owned business treats all of their customers with respect. Every single employee is just absolutely fantastic. From the new guys all the way up to everyone that's been there since the beginning, and the management team, just so much unending love and appreciation for Claire's Creamery here in Greenville. We love you guys. Claire's Creamery, this is a Claire's town, man. Greenville is defined to me by places like Claire's Creamery, but I would take Claire's Creamery Peppermint Hot Chocolate against any other flavor of ice cream on the planet. I don't care what brand you're thinking. I don't care how exquisite it is, how packed with toppings or calories, whatever. Give me Claire's Creamery Peppermint Hot Chocolate. I will stock up hopefully tonight. Now that I remember that it's Christmas in July season, they usually do bring it out here for Christmas. I'll have to check. I'm going to check their Instagram right now. I'm going to check their Instagram right now, live as we're recording. That's how obsessed I am with this flavor of ice cream. Claire's Creamery, please show me. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Peppermint Hot Chocolate. I'm not seeing it there posted on their Instagram right now, but typically the last few years they have brought back peppermint hot chocolate in the middle of the summer. Oh, goodness gracious. Go get yourself some Harry's Hoagies, and then that foreshadowing from earlier in the episode, across the street from Harry's Hoagies is the OG Claire's Creamery location in the Overbrook neighborhood. It's all the same ice cream. It's the same feel. It's the same vibes, whether you're here out near me on Lawrence Road or you're over in Overbrook at the OG. Oh, goodness gracious. If you're not hungry by the time you finish listening to this episode, I've done something wrong, guys. Those, for my money and my time and my attention, are the 7 best places to eat in Greenville, South Carolina. I know your list is different. I want to hear your list. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What are the places that I've missed out on maybe over the years? What are the local places? Especially if you live on the outskirts of Greenville, I'd love to find other places in towns like Travelers Rest or Anderson even, or Spartanburg, or let me know. I'm willing to drive a little bit for the best place to eat, So there are certainly plenty of honorable mentions. I don't want to hurt any feelings, so we're going to keep it here at 7. You guys know I'm a big back. I love to burn calories. Orange Theory Fitness, 26.2 miles out on the road. I got to refuel after that. Give me these 7 places, and I am a happy, happy boy. Okay? Oh, Harry's Hoagies. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. Thank you for listening to Chris Strub Unmuted. Support the show by clicking like and subscribe. And like I said, let's start a discussion. Let's start a conversation. Keep up with me on social media at Chris Strub. And remember, we are all famous to a few people. Mango Fuego. Cheers, guys. Ooh. Yeah. Top 1 C4 flavor. There's your coda. There's your PS. Mango Fuego, man. Doesn't get any better. See you next time.